Welcome back, YouTube Axis and Allies brethren, to this Axis and Allies 1942.2 version game of Axis and Allies between No Limit as the Allies and myself, Captain Jack, as the Axis. So, this is Japan's J3 turn, and for their build, production, that is, they're going to produce 2 transports, 2 infantry, and 3 tanks. Yes, that's right. 2 transports, 2 infantry, and 3 tanks. So for combat movement, we've got 2 combat movements that really have no combat to them. We've got 2 infantry and 1 tank from Yakut is going to go 1 space into Ivinki National Okrug, but then the tank is going to continue on in Blitz into Vologda and take the 2 IPCs there. So that means Japan will go up 3 IPCs for Okrug and Vologda. So make those adjustments. 31 to 34, Russia goes down from 18 to 15. There's 1 combat movement. The second one is 2 tanks from Manchuria are going to move 2 spaces into Xinjiang and take that territory and make it Japan's. So there's 1 more IPC that Japan goes up from 34 to 35. US goes down from 40 to 39. All right, and last but not least, 1 last combat mission. In Kwangtung, we've got 2 transports from C Zone 51. We're going to move 2 spaces into C Zone 61, carrying with him 2 infantry and 2 artillery into Kwangtung. We're going to have a cruiser and a battleship also moving those 2 spaces from C Zone 51 into 61, conducting a bombardment. So that will be the combat movement for this turn. So let me get the dice set up and we'll take care of that. All right, so for the combat movement this turn, we've got 4 green dice, green 2-hit dice, representing the 2 infantry and 2 artillery from Japan, 1 blue die representing the cruiser, and 1 red die representing the battleship. All right, so here's the roll for this attack. Let me turn the lighting a little bit. There we go. All right, so here's that attack. Looking for 1 hit on the UK tank, and there were 2 hits. 2 official hits. All right, so that tank in Kwangtung of UK's has been destroyed. It is out of there. But it does get to retaliate back at 1 blue 3 hit die. All right, so let's see what it does. It's got a 50-50 chance of hitting. And there's the roll. And it does hit. So 1 of the infantry from Japan will be eliminated, and that will leave 2 artillery and 1 infantry behind in Kwangtung. So that will move Japan up 2 more IPCs from 35 to 37, and that will move UK down from 37 to 35, as it should be. All right, so that will do it for combat movements this round. Next will be non-combat movements. All right, so for non-combat movements, we've got multiple destroyer moves. The destroyer in C Zone 63 is going to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, into C Zone 57. Destroyer in C Zone 60, 1 of them, is going to move 2 spaces into C Zone from 59 down to 52. And 1 of them is going to move 2 spaces oh, let's see. The destroyer in C zone 58 is going to move 2 spaces from 58 down to 53. And then the destroyer in C zone 60 is going to move 1 space into 58. And also the destroyer in C zone 51 is going to move 2 spaces down to C zone 44. Okay? So that will do it for that part of non-combat movement. The submarine in C zone 36 is going to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, into C zone 51 and join the other sub, carrier, and fighter there. The submarine in C zone 60 is going to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, down into C zone 51 as well to join the rest of that fleet. All right, so I think that'll do it for non-combat movements this round. So for unit recap, we have 2 infantry in Event Okrug. We have 1 infantry in Soviet Far East. There is two tanks in, let me go back for a second. Before I start the unit recap, let me do the unit replacement. Sorry about that. So in Manchuria, we're putting down 3 tanks. So 3 tanks in Manchuria. 2 artillery in C zone, 2 artillery in Japan. And 2 transports in C zone 60. So let me start this unit recap all over again. Apologize. So there's 1 tank in Vologda. There's 2 infantry in Ivinki National Okrug. There's 1 infantry in Soviet. Oh no, you know what? I'm going to move that infantry in Soviet Far East is going to move 1 into Yakut. So 2 in Vologda, 2 in Okrug, 1 in Yakut. 3 tanks in Manchuria, 2 tanks in Xinjiang, 2 infantry and 1 artillery in Kwangtung. In C Zone 61, there are 2 transports, 1 battleship and 1 cruiser. In the East Indies, there are 2 infantry, Borneo, 1 infantry, New Guinea, 1 infantry, Solomon Islands, 1 infantry. C Zone 44, there's 1 destroyer. Caroline Islands, there's 1 infantry. In Okinawa, there's 1 infantry. Off the coast of Okinawa in C Zone 51, there are 3 subs, 1 battleship, and 1 fighter. In Wake Island, there's 1 infantry. Off the coast of Wake Island, there's 1 destroyer. In C Zone 53, off the coast of Hawaii, there's 1 destroyer. In C Zone 57, there's 1 destroyer. In C Zone 58, there's 1 destroyer. In Iwo Jima, there's 1 infantry. In Japan, there's 2 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 AA gun, 2 transports off the coast, 1 bomber, and 1 fighter. All right, and Japan sits at 37 IPCs. They spent all their IPCs this last round, so they have 37 to spend next turn. All right, so that does it for this Japanese turn, J3. Next up will be the U.S. and Russia doing their round 3, U.S. doing their round 3 turn, and Russia doing their round 4 turn. And that'll be done by no limit. So, from Turret 2 in Wake Forest, North Carolina, Captain Jack, over and out.